Let's learn about the 3 different types of microbe. Make sure you fill in your table as we go. You may often see pictures of microbes where they have eyes and a mouth and arms and things like that, but those are just cartoon versions. It's really important that you remember that actual microbes are so small that you can't see them with your eye, and because of that they're really simple structures as well. They are not like us, they don't have eyes, nose, mouth, etc. The first microbe that we're going to learn about today are the bacteria. So let's start by thinking about the relative size of a bacteria. Well, as they are a microbe, they are obviously microscopic. But they are much bigger than viruses, which are really tiny. And they are smaller than fungi. So their relative size compared to the other 2 microbes is medium. So now let's name some of the diseases that are caused by bacteria. We're going to learn a lot more about these diseases later, but for now, just try and note down a couple of them. Tuberculosis is caused by bacteria. Cholera is caused by bacteria. Salmonella is caused by bacteria. The plague or Black Death is caused by bacteria. Leprosy is caused by bacteria. And impetigo is caused by bacteria. So how do bacteria actually make you ill? Well, only some bacteria make you ill, and these are the ones that can produce toxins. Toxins are like poisons. They attack your cells. When these toxins attack your cells, they damage the cells, making you sick or ill. If they damage enough of your cells, you could even die. So how can we treat the diseases caused by bacteria? We can use a family of medicines called antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill all different types of harmful bacteria, and this makes you better. So now let's have a look at a couple of useful examples of bacteria, because not all bacteria make you sick. There are bacteria that live in your gut, which are actually really helpful. They help you to digest your food and keep your stomach healthy. There are also bacteria that live in the soil. These bacteria help plants to grow. Now let's take a look at viruses. First, let's think about their relative size. Viruses are much smaller than both bacteria and fungi. They are the smallest of the 3 microbes. Let's find out about some of the diseases caused by viruses. Influenza, also known as the flu, is caused by a virus. Chickenpox is caused by a virus. Smallpox is caused by a virus. Ebola is caused by a virus. HIV is caused by a virus. And of course, COVID-19 or coronavirus is caused by a virus. So how do viruses actually make you ill? Well, first the virus starts to multiply inside of your cell until there are thousands of copies. These then burst out of the cell, killing it and going on to infect and kill other cells. So how can we treat viruses? Well, unfortunately, antibiotics do not work on viruses, so we cannot use them to kill viruses. There are antiviral drugs for some viruses, but they don't work on all of them, and they're not as effective often as antibiotics are on bacteria. This means that often we just have to wait for our own body's immune system to fight off the disease. This means that ideally we will prevent ourselves from getting any kind of viral diseases by doing things like washing our hands or even getting a vaccination against the disease if one is available. So are there any useful viruses? Some viruses can be used to alter the DNA of an organism. This means that we can genetically engineer organisms to be different than how they originally were. So one use is genetic engineering. Lastly, we're going to look at fungi. When you think of fungi, you probably think of the large type that you see growing in the woods or even on your plate at dinner. But there are also very small fungi which can grow on and inside of you. Although the fungi that grow on and inside of you are still microbes and therefore incredibly small, they are the largest of the 3 microbes. So let's name a couple of diseases caused by fungi. There's athlete's foot, and there's thrush. So how do fungi make you ill? Firstly, they can irritate your own immune system. This causes an immune response. This can lead to inflammation, swelling and itching. Secondly, the fungi can actually use up your own resources like your water and your nutrients that you need. So how can we treat them then? We can take an anti-fungal pill, or if the fungi is growing on the outside of our body, we can use a cream on top of it. So are there any useful fungi? Well, yeast is an incredibly useful fungi which we use to bake bread and cakes, and we also use in the brewing process when we're making alcohol. Then of course there are all the mushrooms that we eat. And that's the end of our summary on microbes and disease.